Hi everyone, Simon from 1minManager. What I'm going to talk to you about today is a little bit about why we do what it is that we do. So 1minManager, on the face of it, what we do is we create mobile apps. It should be simple. But really, what I want to try and get with this video down to the nuts and bolts of why we produce those apps. So why do we produce these apps? So in a previous life, I owned and ran for 17 years a fairly successful IT support business. And both the work that we did and the output of our work was information based, it was data. So we get information or data from a client, we would produce something, fix something, document what we did, and the output was data. And it's my fundamental belief that most businesses would be a lot better if they could handle, process, sort and produce data quicker than what they are doing. And by data I can mean something as simple as a timesheet. So if you've got lads that they're on site and then they have to submit a timesheet on paper at the end of the week, and then somebody has to take all those bits of paper and add them up in a spreadsheet or on a calculator and then manually enter the information into another program so they can create a wage slip and then hand them a wage slip. That's an industrial age system. So we've got three ages. You've got agricultural, industrial and information age, and we've generally been in the information age for the last 40 years. So what I'm trying to do with the app, I want to take all the businesses that are using these really old, stupid 150-year-old systems and take them into the information age. So what is it? How do we do that? So as well as helping businesses with information, it's my fundamental belief that the software that we provide should be cheap to buy, cheap to run, simple to use, but most importantly, it's got to be easy to build the software and to modify it. Because if it costs too much to modify it or to build it, what you're going to find is you're going to end up with a system that kind of works. It's 80% right, it's 20% not doing what you want, but we can't really, maybe we can't afford to change it. That's completely wrong. What we do is, with our software, we use a method akin to like a boilerplate method. So we build it using tools and techniques that allows us to throw it together really quickly, which means it's cheap. It also means if anything changes, it's quick to change things and modify minor points, and we can basically just bring it all together and present it. Because the one thing about being in the information age, it's no good if your software is static. It's got to change, A, because your business will change, but B, because when you buy software, let me ask you a question. How many out there of you have bought software and within about 3 to 6 months you've realised it doesn't do everything that you want? And this is the big problem. When you buy it, you don't really know what you want. You know maybe a handful of key things it must do, but you don't know everything you're going to want it to do in the next 5 years. With the methods that we've come up with, we can compensate for that. So what we do is when we first start with a new client, we can build what they need then, or what they think they need then. But over time, over weeks and months, what they actually start to realise is that wasn't all they needed. They now need this system, and they need that one tweaking a little bit, and they need this one changing. For example, we've just recently done a timesheet system for somebody, and in simple terms, a timesheet system should be, okay, well, Bob writes down, kind of like a clocking in system, he clocks in at 9, he clocks out at 5, the system records that he's done 8 hours work, and that's what he gets paid for. But this one were a little bit more complicated, because they've got some guys that are paid by the hour, some guys that are paid on day rate, some people are paid to travel to site, some people aren't paid to travel to site. Those that are paid to travel to site, we have to calculate how far away the site is, how long they're travelling, and pay them accordingly. So with a system like ours, the basic front end of it is that the guys who are doing the work, they just clock in and clock out. But in our system, it adds up how many hours they've done. It knows by linking into Google Maps and other things, that it knows how far away the site is, so we know how much to pay them in mileage. It knows how long it takes to travel to the site, so we know how much to pay them in hours. certain people get paid, certain people don't. So the drivers get paid a different rate from the passengers. We can also do lots of little double checks, like did they turn up on site on time? Did they clock in on site or were it somewhere else? These are all the little niggly things, just as an example, that when you start to get into a system like this, you find there's actually more that you want it to do. And the problem is, a lot of software out there, once you've bought it, that's it. It does what it says on the tin. So that's us. We write, in simple terms, we create apps for businesses that does everything that they want. So, Simon Robinson, 1 Minute Manager. See you again soon.